Dates for the much-awaited Delhi civic body polls are out. The Delhi State Election Commissioner announced the polling to be held on the 4th of December, while the results will be out on the 7th of December. The state poll panel chief said that the dates have been announced after the completion of the delimitation process. The polling will take place in 250 wards. As of 1st of January 2022, there were a little over 1.46 crore voters in Delhi. Voting will be done by electronic voting machines like last time, and loudspeakers will be banned from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Earlier this year, the centre unified the city's 3 municipal corporations under the Municipal Corporation of Delhi, or MCD, and reduced the number of wards to 250 from the earlier number of 272. The chief also announced the Model Code of Conduct that will come into effect today. The EC has directed all the enforcement agencies to monitor all the defacing of properties and illegal hoardings, and has also sought a timely report on any violations. So the important part here is that MCD elections are to be held in Delhi. Remember, the civic body literally is the first line of defense when it comes to the fight against pollution. But in what we can see and from what we have seen so far, the municipalities have failed miserably in their job in regulating pollution-generating activities. Should the political parties now come up with a clear plan in their manifestos as the top priority to tackle this air emergency as they go seeking votes for the MCD elections? Let's first listen in to what the citizens have to say.
Pollution should be the first priority. We should fight because it affects the future generation also. The children are vulnerable. So I feel, yes, it is a very big issue.
Definitely should be. Delhi being a city where the pollution, the AQI is really high and at dangerously high levels. But that being an ideal situation, nobody wants to talk about climate change because apparently it doesn't matter because we are very short-sighted. We don't see how it affects us in the long run. And well, politicians never actually did care about it, so I don't really expect it from them prior elections too. But it should be, yeah.
Well, let's listen in to Delhi Election Commissioner announcing the poll dates earlier today.
The last date for filing the nominations is 14th of November, which is also a Monday. Scrutiny of nominations will be on 16th of November, which is Wednesday. The last date for withdrawal of candidatures is 19th of November, that is Saturday. The date of poll, if necessary, as is always mentioned, is 4th of December, which is Sunday. And the counting of votes will be done on 7th of December, which will be Wednesday. And the completion of the entire electoral process will be done by 15th of December, which is Thursday. And like the earlier times, the hours of poll, like the previous time, will be from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Right, you heard the citizens, you heard the officer there announcing the dates. Meanwhile, what is happening clearly is a clamour to control the MCD. Remember, for 3 terms, the BJP has been in power. The BJP and the Congress are in the fray for the Delhi municipality elections. Let's look at the figures, the previous results, starting with the last elections of 2017. Let's put out those figures, please, where you have the BJP with 181 seats, Aam Aadmi Party 48, Congress 30, others 11. Now, if you look at the term before that, if you look at the 2012 MCD elections, the BJP had 138 seats, Congress 77. At that time, Aam Aadmi Party was not in the picture. Independents won 24 seats and others 33. So this is what it looks like when it comes to the seat composition in the MCD elections. This time, of course, it is looking more like a direct contest between the BJP and the AAP. Each side is making an aggressive pitch. Let's listen in.
और जाहिर तौर पे इसमें केवल आम आदमी पार्टी इसकी जिम्मेदार नहीं है, केवल केजरीवाल इसका जिम्मेदार नहीं है, केवल दिल्ली और पंजाब की सरकारें इसकी जिम्मेदार नहीं है। इसके कई सारे कारण हैं, कई लोकल कारण हैं, कई रीजनल कारण हैं। एक राज्य की हवा एक राज्य में नहीं रहती, इधर से हवा उधर जाती है, उधर से हवा इधर आती है। तो जैसा हम कई बार कह चुके हैं कि इसमें केंद्र सरकार को आगे आके इसके ऊपर स्पेसिफिक कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे ताकि पूरे उत्तर भारत को प्रदूषण से बचाया जा सके। ये पूरे उत्तर भारत की समस्या है।
Mr. Piyush Goyal has hit out at the AAP ahead of the MCD polls over charges and failing to tackle pollution in the national capital, while the party's MCD election official exuded confidence of BJP winning yet another term in the capital's civic body, which it has been ruling since 2007.
केंद्र में लोकसभा में फिर एक बार 7 सीटें और राज्य की सरकार भी उखाड़ के फेंक के भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पुनः लाने का मन बना लिया है दिल्ली वासियों ने। मेरा पूरा विश्वास है इस लड़ाई में, चाहे वो प्रदूषण के खिलाफ लड़ाई हो, चाहे भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ाई हो, चाहे जनता की आशाएं अपेक्षाओं को पूरा करने की सवाल हो, और या झूठे प्रचार प्रसार के खिलाफ जनता बुलंद आवाज उठा के कॉरपोरेशन में प्रचंड बहुमत से भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जिताने जा रही है।
Well, so like I said, the clamor to control MCD has begun. But are these leaders concerned about the real issues at the moment? Even as we speak, Delhi residents are gasping for air. People of Delhi do not have access to clean air. That is how bad it is. And here you have all the tall talk that you just heard about how changes will be made if they are voted to power. It is up to the citizens, of course. Let me welcome the panelists joining us here on the program. Vineet Goenka of the BJP joining us. Huda Zariwala, political analyst, supports the Aam Aadmi Party. Dilip Cherian, founder of Perfect Relations, also with us. Thank you, gentlemen. Very good evening. Thanks for joining us here on The Big Focus. I want to begin by just putting out the figures, if possible, on our grid as well. Pollutants. Vehicular pollution, gentlemen, account for 50% of Delhi's pollution, as we have this now from the Center for Science and Environment Report 2021. Household pollution, industry pollution, construction, waste burning, road dust account for the other 50%. So the question clearly then is, Mr. Vineet Goenka, that when it comes to 50% of the factors, the state, of course, I'm assuming you would say, need to take responsibility. Vehicular pollution is something that would come under the state government's ambit. But what about the centre's responsibility? Can it absolve itself? Remember, the BJP is in power in the Delhi MCD for 3 straight terms. And if we look at the municipality's responsibility, that accounts for a bulk of it. Road dust, household pollution, waste burning, all of it comes under MCD, and all of it account for 50% of the pollutants. Clearly, the Delhi MCD has been caught napping on their jobs. There's nothing that has been done, no regulation of pollutants at the MCD level.
Afrida ji, thank you very much for calling me on the debate. Ram Ram to you and to everybody on this debate. I would like to rather congratulate the erstwhile council which was there, which got absolved in the February, that they have done a lot of work. Let me first give you one small example which none of them have talked. Delhi has pollution-free crematoriums. Have you heard about this? The crematoriums all over the Delhi, they have a lot of facilities of electrical this thing. The woods have been stopped. They are generally been given cow dung to burn, and the uplas method of cow dungs have been used here. So that is one unique example which I wanted to give it to you. 2, more than 500 dhalav ghars. Dhalav ghars are the places where the garbage were kept, has been converted back into recreation centers. There have been compactors been used. Compactors are the machines which convert 7 ton of garbage, cubical tons of garbage, into 1 ton of cubical garbage. This has been done. Third, let me tell you, we have enhanced the morale of the sanitation worker by stopping calling them as worker, but rather calling them as to Safai Mitra. More than 10,000 of them have been done permanent here, so that the model. And on the other hand, Aam Aadmi Party controlled state government stopped the salaries of these Safai Mitras so that they are not been paid. In my COVID period also, each of these workers braved COVID. They were on the road, they were cleaning the streets of the Delhi, and I congratulate, I salute them, and I bow in front of all of them. Number 3, Delhi municipality started something called as door-to-door collection of garbage by using vehicles which are tempos. More than 700 have been used there. They also have used e-rickshaws which will go into small lanes where the lanes cannot go, and also picking up the garbage from doorsteps has been done. They have been encouraged. I am very happy to also tell you that central government, on the other hand, has introduced more than 7,90,000 connections of home cylinders, gas cylinders, which has reduced the usage of coal and wood burning in home. It was not the job of central government yet at Dhaulakula Junction, which was a big bottleneck, big pain for citizens of Delhi. The road was made by NHAI, and now we all know that where it used to take 90 minutes to clear that junction, now it takes only hardly 4 to 5 minutes of that. Eastern Peripheral Road has been built by central government, which makes sure that the road traffic, which is not meant for Delhi, does not come to Delhi, but take a turnaround from Haryana to UP directly. Our request to the state government, especially to Arvind Kejriwal,
Mr. Vineet Goenka, yet today the AQI is 431.
Let me complete. My
yet
request to you is to
today,
allow
and
me
we
to
need to
complete.
put that out as well. Look at the figures. I mean, we all have our smartphones. One click, we can see that everywhere in Delhi above 400. Despite all of this, I allowed you to finish. I allowed you to list out all the measures that you claim have been taken. But where is the outcome, Mr. Goenka?
I want to put out 2 more points. Afrida ji, very good. You gave it. Can I continue for 2 more minutes, please? 2 more minutes. 1. The pollution subject, even when it was Delhi governments, we never talked about it. We have requested Arvind Kejriwal, my leader of opposition, Mr. Bidudi, my state president, Mr. Gupta. Everybody has been requesting Mr. Kejriwal to allow him 10 minutes to discuss this particular problem along with researchers and experts so that we can come out with some solution. Delhi government collected 1,286.93 crore rupees towards environmental compensation charges. Not a single paisa has been spent by them. We have been requesting them to implement Metro 4 phase. They have not given us the land. How do we reduce vehicular traffic here? 3. We have been requesting them to stop the pollutant making industries which are there in Silampur and Okhla. All of them been owned or been protected by Aam Aadmi Party MLAs. Both of them are Aam Aadmi Party MLAs. Not stop that particular part. NGT court, forget about politics. NGT has fined Arvind Kejriwal 25 crore rupees for letting this down. There is a stricture of Supreme Court that the smoke towers are not functioning. They have given only 10 months to Arvind Kejriwal government. My visiting chief minister, my chief minister is not a full-time chief minister. He comes to Delhi sometimes. He visited today for 2 hours. He's not there. Delhi does not have a health minister for long since the health minister is in jail. It is the portfolio has been handled by the deputy chief minister. He has been handling many portfolios.
So now, you are saying that none
problem
of
and the actual onus is on state
you are not willing to take responsibility, Mr. Goenka, for the situation that Delhi is suffering right now, despite the fact that MCD has ruled the civic body for
I can do that. Had it been my subject, had it been the central subject of this,
that Aam Aadmi Party has not done enough. No, all your points have converged to only one statement that the AAP has
failed. See the responsibility. They have not even sent an official spokesperson to you, ma'am.
No. That is again a question, and we have to. And I'm glad you put it out. Aam Aadmi Party doesn't send their representative often enough. We take supporters and analysts. I'm sure Mr. Huda Zariwala will be a fair analyst in this particular scenario at least. Mr. Zariwala, Vineet Goenka is right when he says that Delhi Pollution Control Committee has slapped a fine of 50 lakh rupees on Ms. Zariwala. I'm very, very sorry. Huda Zariwala, I'm very sorry for addressing you wrongly. I want to ask you, Delhi Pollution Control Committee has slapped a fine of 50 lakh on the NDMC for being negligent and not taking proper steps to prevent the fire at the Banswal landfill. This is a fine slapped on NDMC. Okay, Mr. Vineet Goenka says NGT, the Green Tribunal, has slapped a fine on Arvind Kejriwal to a higher amount for failing in his duty. Now, it is very clear that all of these agencies are collectively responsible. Would you at least accept the fact that here you have a situation where vehicular pollution has contributed 50% and the party is not focused enough on regulating this aspect?
Well, I'd like to answer by beginning to quote certain facts. But before I do that, let me state that 200 buses have been put on the roads of Delhi by the Delhi government, by Arvind Kejriwal ji, for the benefit of the people. This is so that we can reduce the pollution on the roads. This is because people can commute in a better way. The odd even scheme and various other such innovative schemes, the work from home, and when the pollution levels were high, even last year and the year before that, we saw that the children were asked to stay home, not attend schools. That is definitely not the solution, but at least Delhi government, at least the government of Arvind Kejriwal ji makes an earnest and honest effort to ensure that the citizens of Delhi do not suffer. Time and again, we have been insisting on the fact that the CMs of the states across Delhi should sit down, create an actual plan, and then implement it. I mean, at the end of the day, this cannot be the issue of just Delhi or just Punjab or just the BJP rule states. Have to also take due cognizance of the matter that this is a pan North India issue. And if you're talking about MCD, BJP has absolutely no right to quote any facts and figures for the simple fact that they are the ones under the scrutiny was supposed to be there. There was supposed to be a proper inquiry on the huge, humongous amounts of corruption that have happened. We're talking about 6,760 crores of corruption against the alleged graph. And this is, by the way, a data given by the RTI inquiry. We're talking about...
This is the same old story. No one wants to take the onus. The BJP would tell you that, machines that the center has provided are lying idle. In Punjab, bought by central aid, machines that were provided with central aid are lying unused. So the crop residue problem persists. I mean, even as we speak, farm fires are raging and there is no control. Absolutely helpless. State, center, municipality, no one seems to be able to get a grip of the situation. We have so many committees, ma'am. We have NGT, we have State Pollution Control Board, National Pollution Control Board, the Central Pollution Control Board. We have so many of these boards that are being sustained on taxpayers' money. And if you look at their composition, again, the babus that are sitting there do not even have domain expertise. That's the problem. Right from the policy making, we have failed. But right now, we are looking at the issue of MCD elections and the role of the municipality. Let's not digress. What is the Aam Aadmi Party going to do, Ms. Huda? Very quickly.
That was MCD's responsibility, the mountains of garbage in Ghazipur and other such areas. Why hasn't the MCD taken due cognizance of the matter? It was Aam Aadmi Party recently that went and surveyed the area and made an effort to actually clear out the garbage. But that's not MCD's responsibility. Yes. Pollution cannot be just Delhi government.
If you take a look at what the citizens are saying on Twitter, there are people who are saying this is a crime against humanity. There are citizens who are saying air pollution in Delhi is so high that Kejriwal cannot see his own promises. This is the level of anger. There are others who are saying that, lifespan is reduced by 7 years because of this and no one cares. There are reports that say that air pollution may be linked to increased risk of dementia. Okay, let me bring in Mr. Dilip Cherian, and there's an important question I want to ask Mr. Cherian as well. The fact of the matter is that, again, now there are reports how citizens also have failed, how the people of Delhi do not care. The elite would just leave Delhi. They will just leave the city during Diwali and then come back when the situation subsides. Where is the activism? Where is the kind of, program, citizen-related program that we should have seen questioning the government at this juncture?
The image of Delhi suffers because of the fact that you have a situation where Vineet and Huda are accusing each other instead of finding concrete solutions to what needs to be done. And as you said, the concrete solution depends on those who suffer, which is the citizenry of Delhi. And the problem is that the citizenry of Delhi will get active, excited, and voluble at this point of time for about a month at the most, and then they go back to worrying about other greater national issues. Unless citizen bodies, RWAs, other like-minded and public-spirited citizens of Delhi don't come together and make this a 52 weeks into 7 days of the week campaign where
Yes.
the issues of transportation, public transportation, phase 4 of the metro, phase 5 of the metro if needed, and controls on the kinds of construction techniques that are permissible in cities like this, and a whole bunch of things which are to do with stubble burning, which is a purely seasonal thing, are controlled right through the year. You will have these extreme situations when the forces of nature conspire to make Delhi a methane gas chamber. Yes, the rich do have the money to get away for a period of time, but all citizens of Delhi need to hear a clarion call which needs to come from public-minded citizens. You cannot rely on the battles between Huda and Vineet to solve the problems of Delhi. I completely
I get that.
concede
What I
and
was
take
trying
the
to
blame.
ask you is that the citizens have a responsibility as well. Household pollution is also a factor. What I want to tell you again here is that here is a chance for the electorate. Vote for the right people. You would have heard this said a number of times, and I'll repeat it. We get the leaders we deserve. Vote out the
I don't
people
think
who
it's
are
about
not
leaders,
delivering.
Afrida.
Absolutely.
It's not about leaders,
therefore,
Afrida.
this
It
is
is
the
about
time.
keeping
Here
the
is an
issue.
opportunity. Here are the MCD elections. Choose the right people who you think will, and let's rise above this entire ideological divide, the communal divide. All of this is just ruining this country, isn't it, Mr. Cherian?
I completely agree with you, Afrida. The idea is that we should make sure that citizens understand the issues at stake. It is not about petty party politics. It is not about trying to find someone who will fix something in your neighborhood for you. It is to make sure that you elect people who have a track record of being consistently conscientious about the issues that matter for the citizens of Delhi. Yes, we've had huge improvements in schooling and in the healthcare, but this is a permanent damage to
You know, Mr.
everybody's
Cherian, the
lives.
urban population will sit in AC offices. They will drive, guzzlers, fuel guzzlers. They will burst crackers. They will use air conditioners. So I would say that let's all take responsibility. Let us also, in our own small way, understand that, if we do not wake up to our social civic responsibility, no one else cares. So let's start from there. All I'm trying to urge people who are watching us is that transport, construction dust is a major, major pollutant in Delhi. Those are the figures from what I gather. So let's not behave as if only the netas will do us, find us the solution. They are unlikely to.
Can I come in, please?
Yes, Vineet Goenka ji.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me. There were multiple questions, pointers been pointed out by earlier two panelists. Let me first thank Dilip ji, whom I've been watching from my childhood. He's a grand old man of the ad industry. One real figure is there were, 6,342 buses in 2013 in DTC. Now the buses number has reduced to 1/3 to only 3,910. Now when you know that, public buses are out of the road, people have to use other means of transportation, and I think Aam Aadmi Party has to reply back to Delhi why these numbers have reduced. I don't know Ms. Jarilawala has ever travelled in DTC bus, but I coming from a lower middle class, I have to travel in DTC buses. There are no buses to Kondli, Nazafgarh, there are no buses to Dwarka Mode, there are no buses to Badarpur Road. These places are been fed, they have been kept away from DTC. There people have to go in private buses, they have to pay more or they have to use rickshaws. Now this is a big crime against not only against the environment policy, but also against individual poor people who earn their bread struggling day out. One. Number two, it is very fashionable to say that people are not coming together. Dilip ji, I would request your office, or Jariwala ji, I am requesting your office, tomorrow morning from 7 to tomorrow midnight, I am guaranteeing you that my leader of opposition of Delhi, my state president Sri Gupta and Sri Biduruji would come and meet
I'm not talking
Arvind
about
Kejriwal
political
with
rallies.
experts and researchers
I'm
at
not
our
talking about
disposal.
that. I'm talking
They have a
about
state government. They are not
citizenry,
ready to give
civil
time. What do we
society
do?
groups.
We've been
I'm talking
asking
about about civil
meeting-
society coming
Let me
together
complete.
and not
Let me
running
complete.
away to
Let's
the
have that
hills.
meeting at the MCD office
Yes.
first.
No,
Let's
Huda
address
Zariwala,
the
I
issue
want to.
first.
This is a short duration conversation. I have to allow everyone to
Let me tell you one
speak.
more example.
Very
Let me
quickly,
give you
sir.
one more example.
Yes.
May I come in?
Last
No,
one.
let
one
Mr. Goenka finish. Yes,
Now,
10 seconds.
MCD has taken one. Yeah. Regenerating lake was never an MCD subject, but you please come to Sadara with me. MCD with its limited resources have tried to do that under Atal Mission. Number two, dues to MCDs were choked by state government. Our dozens of corporators, councillors were sitting outside.
Yes, you have made
Arvind
that
Kejriwal's
point
house
earlier,
over a
and we have
month
heard
in
this
January
being
2021.
said.
He has not
The
bothered to come out.
municipalities have
He has not
constantly
bothered
said
to
that
come
they
out.
do
See,
not have the
don't pay
funds,
the dues.
they have the
42 crore
agenda,
rupees
do
is
not
the
have the
revenue
funds.
which was
Huda
shared revenue.
Zariwala,
That
what
has
is
not
the
been
Aam
given to
Aadmi
us.
Party's
And
plan?
you
It
want
is
us to- we have
already,
been paying salary
it
by
is
taking loans.
already in power in the state. It wants control of MCD.
Their plan is to send a
Whatever
proxy.
it
You
was
may not
supposed
know
to
Delhi
do
at all.
in the capacity of the state government, which accounts for, like I said, 50% of the problem, it has failed to do. Now it wants 100% control of the situation. Will the Aam Aadmi Party deliver? How are we to trust you? 50% was your party's ambit. Vehicular pollution, 50%. You're not able to control that. Now you want control over MCD. So all 100% will come under your responsibility. Will you take full responsibility for controlling pollution then?
Absolutely. It is only the Aam Aadmi Party which is the option, the best option for the people. We provide the natural most option, against corruption, against everything that goes wrong with Delhi and Punjab for that matter. At the end of it all, it is the Aam Aadmi Party which has bought out the corruption in the MCD, which runs in crores and crores of rupees. 6,760, that was during the toll time. The
Ma'am,
time and again,
DTC
time and
corruption
again,
is known
corruption of
figure.
MCD has
Jal
been
board
bought into the
corruption has
polling.
been
What has
investigated.
the BJP
Your
done?
ministers
I
are
have
in
had
jail.
enough of
Are in
blame
jail.
game, and I'm not
I did
going to
not
degenerate this conversation into another one, but I will conclude by saying Delhi is not the only city that has grappled with this issue. During my research, I found out that Los Angeles, London have faced these problems. They have come out of this malaise. They have come out through regulatory institutions, through citizen activism, through environmental regulation. Let's talk solutions. Let's stop the blame game. Thank you very much, Vineet Goenka, Huda Zariwala, Dilip Charan for joining us. Okay, let's take a very short break here. When we return, coming up on the other side, complete implosion in Pakistan where protests continue unabated after the assassination bid on former Pak PM Imran Khan.